An update now to a story that we have been monitoring for months. If you regularly watch Finnerty, you will be familiar with this next story. Right now, as we speak, 3I Atlas, an enormous glowing object the size of Manhattan, is speeding toward Earth on what appears to be a planned, coordinated trajectory. It's going so fast that you could fly from New York to Los Angeles in just 1 minute. Now, conventional scientists say that it's just a comet. Of course they're going to say that. But it's doing things that comets just don't do. No comet we've ever seen. So what is it? Joining us now to answer that question, Harvard astrophysicist Dr. Avi Loeb, and member of the House Oversight Committee, and someone who took part in the UAP hearings just last month, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. Gentlemen, great to have you back on. Dr. Loeb, I want to start with you. October 3rd is an important date in this 3I Atlas saga. Why is today so important, and what are we now learning about this thing?
For a simple reason, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And we are about to get the highest resolution images of 3I Atlas when it comes within 29 million kilometers from Mars. There are several orbiters, one that was deployed by NASA around Mars, and it has a camera. This camera is called HiRISE that will be able to resolve 3I Atlas with a 30 kilometer per pixel resolution. So we will learn much more about it in the coming days, and hopefully the data will be out soon. Science is fun because we can learn from evidence. So far, there are 7 anomalies of this unusual object. The size is very large. It's larger of all the size of Manhattan Island, about 1,000 times more massive than the previous interstellar comet, about 33 billion tons, at least that mass. There was a jet coming out of this object towards the sun. Unlike a cometary tail that usually goes away from the sun, there was an unusual chemical composition containing mostly nickel without iron. There was a polarization of light never seen before for comets. And the trajectory of 3I Atlas is aligned with the plane of the planets around the sun. The arrival time was fine-tuned to come very close to Mars today, and later to Jupiter and Venus. And also I noticed that the arrival direction of 3I Atlas was coincident with the direction from where we got the most powerful radio signal back in 1977 that was called the WOW signal, still unresolved.
From Sagittarius, and it comes from that direction, although we don't know the plane, but it comes from that direction in the solar system. So basically, Congressman, I know you just heard all of that. Dr. Loeb wrote the UN about this, saying this should be looked into. We're going to have the best pictures we've had yet from Mars of this thing, unless the government hides them from us, which they could do. Have you been briefed on this, Congressman?
I have not, and I'll tell you, one of the reasons I admire so much Dr. Loeb is what he said. We can learn from science. He's not one of these arrogant jerks out there that looks down upon everybody else. He actually enjoys explaining it to folks like myself. He's a hero in this movement. And he's also a pretty brave guy because he takes some pretty tough stands with his scientific data. This is the kind of thing that we need to be briefed on. You got to wonder what our scientific community, NASA and all the rest are doing right now. I realize there's a shutdown going on, but this is occurring before the shutdown. And
this thing is heading our direction, Congressman. I just want to ask you about one other issue while I have you. Sorry to cut you off, sir. You received intelligence that suggests that there are perhaps deep water alien bases right now sitting on the ocean floor on this planet. Is that accurate?
I would say that's pretty accurate.
Can you go into more detail? How long have they been here? Where are they?
Well, I'm extrapolating all this with my East Tennessee vernacular. So we've got five or six deep water areas of our oceans. We actually know more about the surface of the moon than we do about these areas. And these are areas where we have a high frequency of UFO or UAP sightings. We've had naval folks have told me pretty high up that they've actually tracked these things. Now, we have stuff that can go underwater probably 30 to 40 miles an hour, maybe something a little faster that the Chinese haven't stole from us yet. And we've tracked things big as a football field going 200 miles an hour. Now, I realize in the water you extrapolate that to knots and all that, but just for just for good old East Tennessee common sense. 200 miles an hour, something the size of a football field, and we don't know what it is. And these are in these areas, so yeah, there's something going on there. And whether it's something that's been here for millennial or whatever, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm kind of like Dr. Loeb. I love to study this kind of stuff. It's the scientific material there is he's the one that disclosed some things that were found that were extraterrestrial in our oceans, and he's brave enough, I believe, to come forward with those. So I'm looking forward to some more talks about this. But I think I've kicked the hornet's nest, because it was just in a casual conversation with a blogger, and I discussed it. It wasn't in a classified setting, so I could talk about it. But I always remember the last thing this one high-ranking official told me as he left my office. He was right close to me as I am to my phone in my barn right now, and he said, "Tim, they're real."
Dr. Loeb, hopefully these images come out soon, and we find out what this thing is. Congressman, great to have you on. Appreciate you making the time for us. We'll have you back as well. Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.